You're welcome to class. Okay, sorry the stream went off because the signal was poor, so I have to change a different channel, change to a different mode of broadcasting. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, I know you've been waiting and you've been eager to learn. So if you have your writing materials, grab a seat and let's begin the class. Okay, so if you are ready to begin, I want you to comment in the comment section that you are ready. Just comment I'm ready. Okay, drop a comment in the comment section that you are ready. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at candlestick. This is purely beginner class. Okay, it's for beginners, those that want to learn how to trade forex, want to learn how to trade crypto, you want to learn how to trade your synthetic indices, any assets you want to learn. Okay, so we're going to be um, looking at candlesticks. Okay, how to read candlesticks. When you look at your charts, you have candlesticks. Okay, candlesticks are what makes up the chart. Those green and red colors you see on your charts, okay, on a forex chart or a cryptocurrency chart or synthetic indices charts, anything you want to trade. So those are called candlesticks. So today, these are our course outline for today, and we are going to be looking at what candlesticks are. Okay, so we'll be looking at what candlesticks are, and we are going to be looking at anatomy of candlesticks, and then we are going to be looking at the significance of candlestick sizes. Okay, every candle you see on your charts, they have different sizes, and those sizes, they tell you a story. So today we're going to look at the significance of a candlestick size. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, now we're going to begin by understanding what candlesticks are. So let's proceed. Okay, so what is a candlestick? What is a candlestick? I'm going to use simple terms that you can understand as a beginner. Okay, so a candlestick is a visual way of showing how price moved during a specific time. Okay, so when you see your candlesticks on your charts, it tells you how price moves. Did price move aggressively or did price move slowly? Okay, or was there a period of indecision in the market? Candlestick is what tells you what actually happens to the price of a particular asset. Okay, so the candlestick tells you four important things. Ensure you take note of this. It tells you four important things. Okay, and these are, it tells you where price opened. Okay, it tells you the level, the price at which price opened for that day, and it tells you where price closed for that day or within a certain duration. Okay, so the highest price reached, it also tells you the highest price reached, and it tells you the lowest price reached. Okay, so take note of these four important points. These are the story behind every candlesticks. Okay, so whenever you see a candlestick, what you have to look at is, where did the price start? Where did it open? Where did it close? What was the highest point at which it reached? And what was the lowest point at which it reached for that day or for a certain duration? Okay, so once you know this, you are able to understand the movement of price for that asset. Now, let's proceed to the next thing. So now that you understand what candlestick are, okay, let's proceed to the next thing. Okay, now let's look at the anatomy of a candlesticks. Okay, the components of a candlestick, what makes up a candlestick. So that is what we are going to look at. Like, you have the parts of a candlestick. Like we have the human body, right? We have the parts of the human body. You have your head, you have your nose, okay, and different parts. That's how candlesticks are. Okay, they have different parts. So these are the parts we want to look at. Now, a standard candle consists of three parts, okay, and that is the body, the color, and the wick. Okay, the body, the color, and the wick. These parts of the candle tells us a story. Okay, they are the one that acts as indicators, tells you what happened, tells you if price moved aggressively or moved slowly, or if there was rejection. Okay, if price reached a certain level and got pushed back. These are what tells us what candlesticks are. Okay, so now we are going to look at these parts of a candlesticks individually. Now we're going to look at the first one, which is the body. Hope I'm not being too fast. Okay, I'm trying to make this tutorial as simple as possible for a beginner to comprehend. So if you are understanding me, I want you to type in the comment section that you get me. Okay, type that you get what I'm saying. Type it. Okay, okay, so tell me to go ahead and then I'll proceed. All right, so let's proceed. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at the first part of the candlestick, which is the body of the candlestick. Now, what is the body of the candlestick? How does it look like? How does it look like? How do you identify the body? Okay, now let's proceed. Okay, so the body of the candlestick, this is the thick part of the candlesticks. Okay, I'm going to show you everything I'm saying theoretically. I'm going to show you in a diagram so that when you see it, you are able to identify it. Okay, so the body of the candlestick is the thick part of the candlestick. When you see a candle, if you are used to your charts, you see that the candle has the thick parts and some thin lines. You understand? Okay, so the body is usually the thick parts, which often carries the bold color. Okay, it carries the bold color. It tells you if it is a bullish candle or a bearish candle. Oh, we might not know what bullish or bearish is yet, but let's proceed. You're going to understand. So it is what tells you if this candle is green or is red. So the body is what shows the actual color, makes it very visible for you to identify. Okay, so the body shows the difference between the opening price and the closing price. Okay, so the body shows the difference between the opening price and the closing price. In a candle, you will see when price started and when price closed. Okay, the body is what tells you that. Okay, so if the body is big, it shows a strong movement. Ensure you take note of that, write that down. If the body is big, it shows a strong movement. Okay, and if the body is small, it means what? A weak movement. Okay, or an indecision, a period of indecision, like the buyers and the sellers, they are in a period of indecision. No one is winning. Trading is like a battle between the buyers and the sellers. Okay, so the candle tells us if the buyer is winning or if the seller is winning. Now we're going to look at how the candle looks like. Okay, so here is the um look of a candle. Okay, this is the body of the candle. When you see this now, you can see that it doesn't have anything below or at the top, right? Okay, because that is not what we're talking about now. We're only referring to the back, to the body of the candlesticks. So these as a whole, okay, these as a whole is the body of the candlestick. This is what we refer to the body of the candlestick. Okay, so now that you have seen it, I believe that on a chart you will be able to identify the body of a candlestick, right? You got that right? Okay. Okay, so let's proceed. So let's look at the second component of a candlestick, the second part of a candlestick, which is the color. The color is very important, okay? The color is very important. This what tells you if is a bullish candle or a bearish candle. It's what tells you if you are to buy or to sell. Okay, so the color tells you who is in control. Like I said initially, trading is like a battle between the buyers and the sellers. Okay, so the color tells you if the candle turns green, it means the buyers are what? In control. It means price went up. Buyers push price up. And if the candle is red, it means the sellers are in control. Okay. So if you understand, so I want you to type in the comment that you get what I'm saying, right? Did you get that? Do you understand? All right, type in the comment that you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so the color is very, very important in determining who is in control. Okay, so right here we have the green candle and the red candle. So on your charts, you usually see that is the default color, the green candle and the red candle. Although some platforms might have um, decide to kind of make a little difference on their own color of candle that displays on the chart. And you as a person, as an individual, you can also change the color of your candle. But the default color, green, is for buy, a bullish candle, and red is for bear, a bearish candle is for what? Selling. Okay, so whenever you see a candle that the body is green, it tells you that price what? Went up and buyers are in control. And whenever you see a candle that is red, it tells you the price went down and sellers are in control. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so this is what I mean. This is called a bullish candle, the green. Okay, buyers are in control. And this is called a bearish candle, sellers are in control. Okay, I believe you're getting what I'm saying, right? So we're just treating the basic of candlestick. Okay, tomorrow we're going to take this class daily for 7 days, and tomorrow we are going to do more about identifying individual candlesticks. Okay, each candle you see on the chart has names, they have functions, they have names. So we are going to start identifying those candlesticks gradually. Ensure you don't miss tomorrow class. Okay, so you don't miss any candlestick. Okay, so let's proceed. Now the third part of the candlestick is the wick. The candle consists of the wick, that is those thin lines that you see at the top or the bottom of each candlesticks. Okay, some candle might not have wicks, some might have long wicks, some might have short wicks. Okay, so what are the wicks of the candles? These are the thin lines. Okay, they are the thin lines above and below the body of the candle, just like I told you. Okay, what do they signify? What do they tell us? They show the highest price. Okay, the top wick shows the highest price, the low wick, the down wick, okay, it shows the lowest price. Okay, so this is the function of the wick. It shows the highest price and the lowest price, sorry. So let's see what the wicks looks like on a candlestick. Okay, now I believe you've seen this on your chart. You've seen a candle with this thin line below and above. Sometimes they might not have on one side, while at times they might have on both sides. So these thin lines you are seeing on your candlestick, they are called wicks. Okay, they are called what? Wicks, or it can also be called the shadow. Okay, it can be called the shadow or the wick. So now let's look at this wick over here. You can see that this wick is at this level, okay, while the body started here, okay, and ended here. Can you see that? Okay, you can see that this week being at this low level, it tells you that price got to this point. Okay, price got to this point, this level, but then it was pushed back up. Okay, it was pushed back up, and this week being at this level also tells you that price got to that level, high to that level, but then sellers pushed it backward down and it closed over there. So the week tells us the highest price an asset reached and the lowest price an asset reached. Do you understand? If you understand, type in the comment section that you understand. Do we understand? Type in the comment section that you understand. Okay, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, I want you to hit the subscribe button. Okay, like the stream. Okay, like the stream, so you'll be notified when we post many more amazing tutorials. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so now we have the candlestick. We have analyzed the candlesticks. We have talked about the anatomy of the candlesticks, the parts of the candlesticks, what makes up a candlesticks, and the functions of the wick, right? Now let's look at how to trade a candle. Okay, how to trade a candle. The candle, the bullish candle, which is the green color candle, okay, it opens at the bottom, it opens at the down. This is what I mean. Okay, let me try to move this somewhere. Okay, let me move it here. Okay, so here. Sorry, looking for a better place to position that. Okay, so the bullish candle, okay, it has its opening at the down part. Okay, so it usually opens at the down part. Okay, so it usually opens at the down part right here, and then it closes right over here. Okay, it closes right over here. Okay, so the bullish candle opening and the closing point is the opposite of the bearish candle opening and closing point. Okay, right here the bullish candle has its opening below and is closing above, but on the bearish candle is gonna look different. Okay, so let's look at that. So the bullish candle, it opens at the bottom, take note of that, and it closes at the top. So when price opens right here, buyers push price up, okay, and then they close it here. Okay, so that is how the bullish candle works. So the bearish candle on the other hand, let's see, the bearish candle on the other hand it opens at the top. Selling means it's going down, right? So it has to go down. So the bearish candle opens at the top right here. It has its opening point right there, and then it closes right here. You can see that it is the opposite of the bullish candlestick, right? It is the opposite of the bullish candlestick. So when price starts right at the top, sellers push price down, and then it closes right there. Okay, so that is how, when you see your candle forming on your chart, when you see a bearish candle forming on the chart, know that it is going to go down. When you see a bullish candle forming on the chart, know that it is going to go bullish. It's going to go up. All right. So that is what you have to understand on the bullish, with the bullish and the bearish candlestick, while trading the bullish and the bearish candlestick. Now, let's look at what wicks really tell you. Okay, so before we move on to that, when we have the wicks, it tells us a story, it tells us something, it signifies something. Before we move on to that, I want you to type in the comment section that you understand. If you don't understand, type I don't understand. I understand. And then we're going to proceed. Okay. All right. So let's proceed. Okay, now what does weeks really tell you? What does weeks really tell you? The week is the thin line you see on the candlesticks. Okay, the week is the thin line you see on the candlestick, like we have over here. Okay, so this thin black line is the wick, and we also have a tiny thin black line down there. Okay, so when you see a long wick, it means rejection. Okay, it means rejection, it means price was rejected. Okay, like this candle right here is a bullish candle, right? And it has a long wick at the upper part. Okay, it has a long wick at the upper part right here. Okay, what this tells us, looking at this candle alone, what it tells us is that buyers pushed price right to this level. Okay, buyers pushed price right to that level, but then the seller stepped in and pushed price back down to this level. That is rejection. Okay, that is rejection. It shows by sellers are stepping in and they are trying to what, overpower the buyer. So whenever you see long wick, know that that is rejection, and it is not safe to think about taking a trade at this point. All you have to do is wait to see what is going to happen next. The next candle that is going to form, what is going to happen. So long wicks equals rejection. So long upper wick means what? Price tried to go up but got pushed down, just like. Okay, so we are having a little bit of pause signal and interruption. If you're still here, I want you to type in the comment section that you are still here. Okay, type in the comment section that you are still here. Okay, so if you can hear me, type I can hear you. Let's proceed. So just like we explained on the bullish candle having a long wick, a bearish candle also have long wick. Okay, it can also have long wick, and what that signifies is that sellers stepped into the market and pushed the price right to this level, but buyers stepped in and pushed the price back up, and price closed right there. And I told you that price movement is like a battle between the buyers and the sellers. Just see the market like that is a battle between the buyers and the sellers. So this shows the battle between the buyers and the sellers, just like I've told you. So whenever you see a long wick, just know it's a rejection and it's not safe to take a trade until you get further confirmation. Okay, do you understand? Okay, now this is that for what the weeks really tells you. Okay, now we are done with the week. We are done with the week, and I believe the explanation was simple, in simple terms that you can understand as a beginner. Okay, if you don't understand anything, just tell me in the comment section that you don't understand, and I'm going to go over it again. All right, so now let's look at the third part of our course today, which is the significance of candlestick body size. The significance of candlestick body size. The size of a candlestick tells you a story. It tells you something. There's a meaning behind every the size of every candle. Okay, there is a meaning. When you see a big um candlestick, it tells you something. When you see a small candlestick, sorry, it tells you something. Okay, so let's look at what the sizes of the candlestick tells us. So when we see a big green candlestick, okay, it indicates strong buying pressure. It means buyers are stepping in massively. It indicates strong buying pressure, and price is likely going to continue to what trend up at this stage. So whenever you see a big green candle, just know that buyers are stepping in big time and they're pushing price up. It shows a high momentum, a high buying pressure. And whenever you see a big red candlestick, it shows what? A strong selling pressure. Okay, it means sellers are more in the market, they're stepping in more and they are gaining control from the buyers. And this shows high selling pressure and high momentum, and is a good time for you to consider into a short position. Now, when we see a small body candlestick, yeah, I believe on your chart you have seen small body candlestick. I'm going to show you. So, when we see a small body candlestick, it means is there is an indecision, like nobody's winning, nobody's winning the battle. Just see it as a battle. Nobody's winning the battle. There is an indecision. The sellers are not winning, the buyers are not winning. What do you do at the stage? You wait. You wait. You don't jump into any trade. You wait. Okay, now let me show you all I've been explaining. The big candlestick, the big candlestick, big green candlestick, big red candlestick. Now look at example on this chart. Can you see that? Now look at this charts right here. We have we have a big green candlestick. Can you see that? This shows a high momentum, a high buying pressure. Now, before that candle occurred, when you look at these previous candles right here, you can see that they were short candles, right? They were short candlesticks. Then there was no much buying pressure in the market. But as soon as this big bullish candle showed up, right? As soon as this big bullish candle showed up, what happened? Price started trending up massively. Buyers started pushing price up massively. Okay, so whenever you see a big green bullish candle, it shows high buying pressure. You have to position yourself to take a trade. And let me show you an example of a big red candlestick, a big bearish candlestick. Now look at it right here. I believe you do see these on your chart sometimes, right? So whenever you see a big bearish candlestick, the selling pressure is high. Okay, price is likely going to be pushed down further. Okay, can you see that? So this is the big bullish candle. You can see it's being pointed by the arrow, but let me point it again. Okay, so what happened when that big bearish candle appeared? It was what's a push to the downside, right? It was a push to the downside. So I believe you can identify the big candlestick on your charts, right? If you can do that, I want you to type in the comment section that you can identify it. Okay, we are at the basic level, and I want you to follow this. If you miss these basic steps, you will find it difficult understanding and interpreting your charts. So you have to make sure that you master the candlestick anatomy before you be able to understand other things, other complex concepts in forex trading. Okay, so I'm using a very simple term for beginners to understand. Now let me show you sorry, let me show you the small body candlestick, what it looks like. I believe you've seen it on your chart. Let's see that. So right here we have the small body candlesticks. Small body candlesticks usually have long wicks on both sides, sometimes on one side. Okay, so these candles are called indecision candlesticks. They have their own names. Yeah, their own names depending on the shape. So as we proceed further daily, we're going to know the names of these candlesticks, the function, their function, and the location of where we can find them on the charts. Is it at the supports or is it at the resistance level? Where can we get them? So this is what the indecision candlestick look like, small body candlestick. When you see this kind of candlestick on your chart, all you have to do is wait. Don't take a trade, because right here nobody is winning. Buyers are not winning, sellers are not winning. Okay, they are. And at this stage, whenever you see these candles occurring, price usually move in a sideways manner, in a ranging form, and it's not safe to take a trade at this level. So this is what we have to learn for today. I believe you gained something. I believe you gained something. If you gained something, I want you to give us a thumb up. Okay, give this video a thumb up so that you can get more valuable content tomorrow. Okay, so now before we wrap up we're gonna have the evaluation series. Okay, so from all that we have learned, if you followed the lesson from the beginning, we talked about, okay, sorry, so sorry, my signal is a bit poor. Okay, my signal is a bit poor. So can you tell me in the comment section, type your answer in the comment section if you have been with us. What does this here? What does that does it tell us? What's the story? Okay, drop your answer in the comment section so I know you'll be following this lesson from beginning. I'll be looking at your answer on the comment section. Okay, okay, then while you are answering that, second question, when you see a candle with a long wick like candle number 2 right here, what does it tell us? What does it tell us? Sorry, you see candle with a long wick, what does it tell you? Okay, okay, the signal is a bit poor, so I'm gonna check your answers in the comment section. Okay, tell me what a long wick in a candle, what it means. And what's a long body bullish candle? What does it mean? Okay. All right. So we have come to the end of this class. Okay, if you got value from this video, don't forget to like and give us a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel so that you can get notified when we start up tomorrow's class. Be available every day by 6 p.m. West African time. We are going to have straight 7 days tutorial on candlestick mastery and other basic forex concepts that you need to learn. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying to the end. Bye.